What an episode, man. What an episode. This episode literally had every single thing, and now we are going to review it. Who is going to win the battle between the second fiddles? What is Vegeta's desperate blow? Now let's review the episode and let's see what happened. Episode title is Surpass Even a God, Vegeta's Desperate Blow. It was such a great episode, but interestingly enough, they recap the last things that happened on the last episode with Toppo grabbing Frieza's hat, and God, I might say I do enjoy that scene every time that I see it, despite it being so ruthless from Toppo, but still, well, I can say that I like to see Frieza suffer, but man, that was enjoyable after what Frieza did on the last episode. But now it's time for Android 17 having to face Toppo alone. And we see that 17 is not going to give up, as he makes sure to say that on the episode itself. He's not going to give up. He will be finding a way to be able to actually hold on Toppo at least. 5 more minutes are left. He realized that on the last episode. So he has to just hold him off and just wait for Goku and Vegeta to be able to hold their own against Jiren, so Universe 7 wins. That is practically what his plan seems to be at the moment, since he really cannot win a fight with Toppo. But still, he is trying to run away, as we see. But he realizes something. There are a lot of rocks and he can use them to actually hide himself. And he does that pretty well, despite it being really ineffective. I enjoyed the fact that we see a different kind of a character in a Dragon Ball. We see something different. We see somebody actually trying to use tactics in order to win instead of just raw power. This is what is making Android 17 so cool and so different from all the other fighters. He is actually using his brain a lot more. And I'm loving his character, and especially the way how he acts. He, despite the fact that he knows that he's cornered, he is still very calm and keeping his cool in order to be able to find something, instead of just being desperate, like, man, I have got to do this, why things are not going. He's different, and that's why I like him. But we see that Toppo is far beyond his strength. Far beyond, and as Toppo is close to finish him up, somebody who really loves the team play actually joins in. Oh yeah, Frieza is back up. And Frieza this time says that, Hakaishin Toppo, you shouldn't forget about me. He's still back. And I do enjoy that a lot. Seeing Frieza there, yeah, that was kinda cool. And we see one thing that I did predict to happen when we got the spoilers for episode 126. That technique that Frieza used with Goku back on the Namek arc, where we see him putting in a kind of a ball, energy ball, basically, and he is using his psychic powers in order to throw rocks at him. But Toppo is like, is this all what you have? Basically, it is not doing anything to Toppo, but it still looks very cool, and it is actually making both the characters looking very good. This is something that we barely saw in Dragon Ball Super, if I'm being honest. This is something that we really did lack on this show, but in Tournament of Power, when it comes to fighting, they have nailed these parts by hyping up one character without really having to push down the other. This was amazing, but still, man, Toppo loves to grab Frieza, doesn't he? As he grabs Frieza again and throws him. But then we see, because the arena has gotten a lot smaller due to the damage and also the time passing, Toppo realizes that Jiren is out there fighting with Goku and Vegeta, and they are headed towards this direction. And the team play comes into its place again, as we see Jiren throwing a Ki Blast in order to basically just break the scheme of Universe 7, which was a very cool done, and we see Toppo and Jiren actually having a very good chemistry, as they decide to take on the strongest guys first. As we basically see, Toppo is going to take on Vegeta, the battle of the second fiddles, and Jiren is going to take on Goku first. So basically, making sure they take out the strongest guys, everything else will be a lot easier. This is their plan, and this is really cool, instead of just seeing like, okay, I'm gonna take them out both. just like we have seen up until this point. They actually, despite being very strong, they are aware of the fact that still Goku and Vegeta poses a lot of danger to them, and especially seeing how well they have progressed through this tournament. That is very cool done, very well done, and I really enjoyed it a lot. This episode in general was very well constructed. Up until this point it was amazing, it had a lot of action, but we also saw different characters doing different things besides the action. This episode actually had inside the story, which is something that has been really lacking through this Tournament of Power. We saw something else. We have had some episodes like this, of course, but I don't think that any of them were able to capture the situations as well as this one did. It really got me into that, it got me feeling every little moment of this, and that is what divides a good episode. It is a very well done episode, both the first part and the second part, and to think about it, out of all the episodes that we had the staff list released us, we were mostly worried about this because this was going to be a Vegeta's episode, and we were worried about the stuff that was going to work in, but indeed they did nail everything up until this point. Storyboard, animation, script, it was very well directed. Everything that you want from an episode was here, and that is something very, very, very important. I keep repeating this, but it's the end of the show. We really want something good, something to live by us, and this episode indeed did that. But now let's continue. The battle of the second fiddles begins as Toppo starts immediately to overwhelm Vegeta, as we saw from the preview. We kinda saw all the time Toppo from the preview. I know it is very short, but still Toppo was like all the time on top of Vegeta. He was able to toy around with Vegeta for a little bit. But still Vegeta keeps continuing with the fact that he cannot let the science or his family, he cannot let them down. This is basically what I wanted to say. But Toppo presses a wrong button, as he presses the pride button by telling him that we have to be able to divide when we should keep pride and when we shouldn't. And what Vegeta wants to do is really a little bit of a bullshit. And man, he did not press the pride button. He did not. Man, that scene was intense. And this is something that should have been done on the transformation, as we see Vegeta remembering Bulma, Bra, and Trunks, as well as Kabe and the others. And as we see him remembering all of these guys as he powers up, it was unbelievable scene. I enjoyed that so much, and this is what they should have done on the transformation. And now I go back to when I explained it, why episode 123 was really bad, and actually 124 was on top of it. Because they did not have time, Toei miscalculated time, but they kinda made it up for it here, which I kinda can forgive them for ruining that, because they gave to us such an unbelievable moment and even more development for Vegeta. That is something great. I'm enjoying this so much. This is something that we want to see, especially with Vegeta fans, with people who actually have been fans of this character ever since they started to watch Dragon Ball or read the manga. Vegeta has always been a special character, but he never ever got moments like this. Most of the time he was thrown out there just to make Goku look good. But things are changing a lot, and this is so beautiful and amazing, and I really want to do a separate video about Vegeta. Yes, another one where I want to talk about this more and more, because here I should continue with reviewing the episode. As we see Vegeta buffing up even more, but this time things are different. This time, muscles didn't really shrink his speed or anything. Actually, Vegeta is a lot faster than Toppo, who is able to hit him, throw punches at him, as we see a very good animation there. Even though it seemed like kinda limited animation, they were able to do it in an amazing way that really didn't bug anyone, at least I hope so. As watching it just live, just once, I can say that I did enjoy the action scenes a lot. They were very well animated, and the art was also gorgeous too. Especially seeing Vegeta without that kind of weird aura that he has around. This time, even the aura was done well, which was amazing. I cannot really have enough words on describing how well this episode was made. One of the strongest episodes that Dragon Ball Super has had, and what a way to continue from the last episode. Now you can feel that we have reached that big climax, especially with everything going on. This episode, those moments are something amazing, something that you really want to see. But still, now let's just continue with this, and Vegeta is like, I cannot lose to somebody who has thrown away his pride. As I said before, pride button. Pride button. You don't touch that. Ever. Don't. This is for every villain that might appear in the future of Dragon Ball or any series that we get in the future, if we do get one, but I'm pretty certain that we will. But now, as we see Vegeta charging up, and we see that his aura is kind of different, and it is resembling something. I guess what? Because this is something that they haven't done in Super, like at all. They haven't gotten things from Dragon Ball Z, like at all, you know? I really didn't think something about Dragon Ball Z at the moment, because they are not doing anything from Z. This is really authentic. You know, you get me? They are not doing, but nah, I'm just kidding. It was very well made, and especially the Piccolo having the throwbacks of Vegeta using that self-destruction technique, and he's like all worried and just going like, is he really going to throw everything away for them to win? He didn't really say something like this, but you know, his facial expression was that led to it. And as we see Toppo charging up, and Hakai, a really strong one, something much bigger than he did on these last two episodes, he throws it at Vegeta, and we see that Hakai is able to overwhelm Vegeta's ki for a moment, and then we see Vegeta's ki rising back up as Vegeta is pushing even further as he uses the technique, and he basically explodes. We have this huge explosion there, and Toppo is out and unconscious. Literally, that technique was so strong that put somebody who is a Hakaishin, a god of destruction, unconscious. Maybe he wasn't unconscious, I didn't really see it well, but he definitely wasn't able to get up. And that really tells you something. And everyone out there is just watching and seeing where the hell is Vegeta. And he shows up. And wow, that scene is so amazing. We all expected to see a shirtless Goku, didn't we? Well, we got an armorless Vegeta this time, and it looks so amazing. And Piccolo actually points out that with the energy that Vegeta has gotten from the Super Saiyan Blue, he is actually able now to use that technique without self-destructing, which is something huge, and that technique is basically going to be, from now on anything, movies, everything, Vegeta's strongest move. But Beerus points out that it's not looking very good because Vegeta has used all of his power. And we can see from where the title came from, Vegeta's risking blow, because if you all predicted for Vegeta to use this technique, then you were right. I did not, to be honest. I didn't think that they were going to go for something like this, but it's not something unexpected, and if you were right, really hands off to you because you did an amazing job. Toppo is out, now everything is up to Jiren. 4 versus 1. And actually the weird thing is that when Toppo is thrown out, Jiren gets a little bit mad as he kicks Goku, literally kicks Goku out of his Super Saiyan Blue form. That's strong this guy is. He just kicks Goku, throws him on the rocks, and Goku shows up and he's on his base form. That's how strong this guy is. And now we have Goku on his base form, Vegeta on his base form, Frieza on his base form, and Android 17, who doesn't have any transformation but is looking very tired. Anyway, something interesting to point out is that we didn't see Frieza at all in the end. And maybe they are scheming something for him. Maybe he's just going to be running away now since Toppo is gone, so he doesn't have to do anything else and just wait for them to be able to hold off Jiren somehow. Maybe. We'll see what they have in plan with Frieza. But since we saw a Jiren who is actually serious and mad, we see Jiren who finally smiles. Character development, baby! As we see Jiren smiling and going like, now I'm going to show you something interesting. Yeah, now you are going to see something that you haven't seen before. As he starts to power up. And this literally tells us that Jiren is finally going to go full power against Universe 7 guys. It's shaping up to be such a great arc at the end because I didn't expect it. If you love story, then this episode was for you, as it had a lot of character development in there. Besides Goku, I could say, or even Frieza, all of these guys still got developed even more. Even Jiren, who has been really somebody who doesn't show any kind of feelings or anything. We see him actually showing feelings here, getting really mad, getting pissed off, actually feeling like kind of weirdly about Toppo thrown out, but then enjoying the moment that he's getting to finally show his full power. And what really tells me I should do a separate video for this, but I'm saying it now here, that Goku and the others are not the strongest guys that Jiren have faced. That's clear. Even though he never lost, he has definitely fought stronger opponents. They are implying it to be that way. And the episode ends with 4 minutes left on tournament and only 4 more minutes for us to enjoy. Actually, for us are 5 more episodes. And that tells us that they are going 1 minute per episode. 1:30 is going to be the last episode of Dragon Ball Super. Anyway, guys, let me know what did you think about the episode. I very much enjoyed it. I will be breaking it down tomorrow, I think, on my channel. So if you're not subscribed, please subscribe with notifications enabled. Comment your thoughts on the episode down below. Leave a like if you want to support the channel. And have a great time, guys, because this is shaping up to be a great time. And we are going to have a lot of fun through the week. Damn, for a moment I couldn't talk. Through the week. And we will be seeing you next week with another review of Dragon Ball Super. Have a great time, guys. Bye.